I still remember the day Adama, the richest and most beautiful woman in our village, fell to her knees in the middle of the market. She was crying, holding on to the feet of a man no one thought she would ever look at. The same woman who once walked past everyone with her head high, who laughed at men who dared to admire her, was now begging. I never thought I would see such a thing in my lifetime. Adama was the daughter of Chief Bayo. She had everything: gold earrings, fine clothes, and a house bigger than the chief's own. When she walked through the village, people stepped aside. Women admired her, men feared her, and children whispered stories about her. But she was cold. She never greeted anyone, never smiled unless it was at someone richer, and never looked at a man unless he came with gifts. Many men tried to marry her. Warriors, traders, even the chief's eldest son. But she turned them all away. "What can you offer me?" she would ask, laughing. "I have more than you could ever dream of." One day, a poor fisherman named Kofi came to the village. He was not handsome. He had no wealth. His clothes were simple, and his only treasure was his little wooden boat. But he had something no one else had: kindness. I used to sit by the river and watch him. He would give fish to the hungry, help old women carry firewood, and tell stories to children. He never asked for anything in return. One evening, when the sun was red in the sky, Kofi saw Adama struggling to carry a basket of yams. The basket was heavy, but no one helped her. She had pushed people away for so long that now, when she needed them, they ignored her. Kofi, being Kofi, went to help. "Let me carry that," he said. Adama looked at him, ready to insult him. But for the first time, she had no words. She let him carry the basket. From that day, things started changing. Kofi did not treat Adama like a queen, and he did not fear her like the other men. He spoke to her as if she were just another person. He made jokes, asked her to help him clean fish, and even told her when she was being rude. "Your beauty means nothing if your heart is empty," he told her once. At first, Adama was angry. No one had ever spoken to her like that. But something about Kofi's honesty made her think. Weeks passed, and I saw Adama going to the river more often. She would sit and listen to Kofi's stories. She would help him fix his fishing net. She started laughing, not at people, but with them. Then came the day of the great storm. The river flooded, and Kofi's boat was carried away. He tried to save it, but the water was too strong. People shouted for him to leave it, but Kofi did not listen. "That boat is all I have," he cried. He jumped into the water. I will never forget the scream that came from Adama's mouth. She ran to the river's edge, tears in her eyes. "Kofi," she called. "Come back. Let it go." But the river did not listen. It pulled him under. For a moment, everything was silent. Then, Kofi's head broke the surface. He swam to the shore, coughing and gasping. The boat was gone, but he was alive. Before he could stand, Adama was there. She fell to her knees, grabbed his hands, and held them tightly. "You fool," she sobbed. "You could have died." Kofi, still catching his breath, looked at her and smiled. "I thought you only cared about wealth." Adama shook her head. "I care about you." That was the moment everything changed. The village gathered, whispering, watching as the arrogant beauty held onto the poor fisherman as if he were the most valuable thing in the world. Adama gave up her riches. She moved to a small hut near the river. She worked with Kofi, selling fish in the market. And for the first time, she was truly happy. People still talk about it to this day. The woman who had everything but was empty, and the man who had nothing but was full of love. And so, the arrogant beauty found love, not in gold or power, but in a man with a kind heart and a wooden boat that was lost to the river.